It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da. Tsh, da, 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 da. Di, da, di, di, da, di, di, da, 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 da. Di, da, di, li, da, di, li, di, da. Di, da, di, li, di, da, di, li, 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 da, di, da, di, da, di, di, da.
Hello everyone. So, remember last time when I said I was going to make a video about something to do with the online gaming communities of the world? Well, this is what that is. So let me start off by saying that I love video games. I have this huge, deep, crazy passion for video games and for people who play video games. I love people who play video games. Almost all of my friends play video games. In fact, a large majority of the people I know all play video games. Video games are amazing. Video games are one of the quickest expanding cultures on the planet, and not to mention markets on the planet. And not only that, but they're an absolutely amazing way for us to escape the realities of the world for a tiny bit of time and to just, kind of enjoy ourselves and let off some steam. And I think it's wonderful that we have something like that. I think it's absolutely amazing that we can get so much enjoyment out of something. That astounds me, and it's wonderful. So, before I say anything, I want to say that remember that the point of video games is to have fun. You're there to have fun and maybe blow off a little steam. Not at people, but in through the game. You want to have fun. And yes, competition is also encouraged, because competition can be extremely constructive. But, unfortunately, the downside to online gaming is that many of their communities are often extremely toxic, which isn't good for anyone. Because honestly, what does it say about us as people if we can't get along in a virtual world and not even in the real world? What does that mean, You understand where I'm coming from? So this video is going to be about what I like to call toxic online gamers, Togs. And it's going to be about how not to be one, and how to deal with one if you come across them, because we've all come across them. So I'm sure that no matter what platform we play on, PlayStation, Xbox, PC, Wii, whatever, no matter what we play on, we've all come across toxic online gamers. We've all come across such insults as, you're such a fucking noob, or, go back home, get the fuck out of here, or my personal favorite, go back to bots. I love that one. That one cracks me up every time. So, I'm going to start off with how not to be a toxic online gamer. So, remember that video games, like I said, are supposed to be fun. You're there to have fun. The video games are engineered for you to have fun. That's like their purpose. And to sell. But, for you to have fun. And do remember, keep in mind, that it's only a virtual world. It has no effect on your social standing, your worth as a human being, anything. It does, whether you win or lose or what happens online has no effect on any of that. And another thing is, keep in mind that games in general are not about winning and losing. No game in the world, in my opinion, is about winning and losing. Games are about enjoying yourselves, often in the company of others, and growing through the experience and learning. Not just growing physically, but growing mentally and emotionally as well. That's what games are about. And another note is that when you enter specifically an online gaming community, like I said, on any platform, for any game, as soon as you enter that online community, you've basically signed a contract. And that contract says, I understand that I am going to be randomly paired with individuals from across the planet who have different skill levels, methods, goals, and intentions than I do. And that's something you have to read the fine print on, because that's the contract, and that's how it is. That's how it is in the real world, and that's how it is in the virtual world too. Okay? The last note on how not to be a Tog, and I think the most important, is to remember the immortal words of Phil from Disney's Hercules. Rule number 11. It's all just a game, so let loose and have fun with it. Alright? Phil, even though he was a fat old satyr, was he played by Danny DeVito? He was ugly, but he was funny and he was wise. So the next step here is how to deal with said Togs if you come across them, because we all come across them. It's an unfortunate reality. Not everyone in the world is nice. Not everyone, is polite. Not everyone has compassion or empathy or sympathy. Not everyone cares. Okay, so how to deal with a Tog if you come across one. The number one response that you can have to something that they say to you is no response at all. Togs are akin to online gamers. Online gamers. They are online gamers. Togs are akin to internet trolls. Like Black Lanterns, for those of us who follow the Green Lantern universe, like Black Lanterns, they feed on your emotional response. So don't give them one. Even if you have one, don't show them that you have one. Be on your way and ignore it. And understand that you probably enjoyed the game more than they did if they're bitching you out for something, Next, if you must respond, and trust me, I understand the need to respond, because sometimes it just gets on your nerves and you gotta say something, It's happened to me, it's probably happened to all of us. Just kindly but firmly remind them that it's not about winning or losing. It's about having fun. And, if they can't have fun with it, that's their loss. And then, be on your way and queue up your next game. You're probably never going to see them again. Maybe you'll have a match with them again, but you'll never actually see them. You're not going to come across these people. You know what I mean? And just keep in mind the entire time that even if they're not having fun, at least you're having fun. And don't let them ruin that for you. Don't let someone else ruin your online fun. That's not fair, Yeah, and that brings me to a question that I have for toxic online gamers, and that's, how can you honestly have fun with these games, and how can you have fun if you're spending the entire time stressing about whether or not you're gonna win or lose, or every single move that your team is making, or anything? How do you have fun with that? I don't understand. But on to the final notes. A message collectively from us, we who are trying to enjoy playing online, to Togs. I give a collective, dude, chill out. Think about it, alright? Failure is a part of life. And if you can't deal with failure in a virtual world, how are you going to deal with failure in the real world? But if you are knowingly or unknowingly a toxic online gamer, and you're watching or listening to this, and you still want your teammates to play perfectly, and you still want to win every match, and you still want to ensure that your team executes each move to synchronous perfection, the only place you're ever going to find that is in the programming of computers. So really, my only suggestion for you is that maybe you should go back to bots.